No. Yes.
Uh,
I was in the bed with my husband and I said, "Ah, I have to I have to take the class, the English class."
you were already like about to fall asleep, no?
Yes, teacher, because today I went to Puebla
Uh,
and I woke up
mhm.
uh early, early,
Yes,
early, yes.
yes.
And I so tired.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yes, of course. It has been a strong day, and you've been driving and going to different places, right?
Yes.
At what
But
time did you
I'm
arrive?
here.
That's very nice.
Uh 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yes, but I had to answer some emails, so I
Yes.
finished 7.
Okay. Yes. No, that makes sense.
I
That's
think.
okay. Thank you for coming. I'm very, very glad to see you here and to have you like after a very hard day. Thank you, thank you. Well, all right, very good. Let's start because we have to practice our speech after what we did last class. We were practicing adverbs, so you need to try to use them right today. We're gonna use two different positions of adverbs, right? When adverbs go before the verb and when adverbs go at the end of the verb. According to what we say, it it is the expression that we're gonna use, right? So the conversation, I'm gonna ask you some questions to each one of you, and then you're gonna try to answer by using adverbs. Okay? So
Okay.
let's check some adverb phrases. Let's check some interesting adverbs such as shortly, instantly, simultaneously, and rather, recently, seriously, urgently, and illegally. Also, you can use emphasizers, all right? One of the emphasis or the words that we saw the other class. Oh no, actually we didn't see them, but I'm gonna give you these like adverbs of degree and adverbs of emphasis, so you can add them to your answers. This specific column, these two columns, are pretty interesting because they are words that we use to emphasize other adverb. You know, so we have words like somewhat. Do you remember somewhat? Or you want to check that word? All right, we want to check somewhat.
Sorry.
Yes, teacher.
We need to check that one. Okay, let's go about that word on the dictionary. Help me, Elsie, with the definition of somewhat.
Somewhat. To some degree. Synonym rather.
Was not explanatory at all.
Somewhat different or similar.
Correct. Somewhat different.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you very well.
Yes, Chelsea has connection problems. We'll
Hello,
wait.
hello.
Your hello for your connection to
Hello.
get better. Hello. Elsie is not there. Okay, don't worry, Elsie. In a moment, we're gonna check with you. Okay. So the word somewhat means a little, well, kinda, you know. The word kinda sounds very similar to somewhat, right? And this is an adverb very similar to rather, which are two words that we are going to use here. Rather is again to some degree. So it's not very, 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 but it's not little, little, little. It's rather good, rather bad, somewhat good, somewhat bad. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, you can use these words to give emphasis to other adjective and another adverb in your responses. Try to check it. Okay. Mm, for English as a second language. Question number one. I'm going to ask you a question and I want to take notes about what you say. Okay. Number one. Let me open the note book of corrections. Tell me, Michelle, how do you manage your time when you have multiple tasks to complete shortly?
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Mitch. Good night.
Good night. Multiple tasks. Okay. I don't know. I just do it.
You just do it.
I cry.
Okay. You can say that too. Yeah. How do you cry? Emphasize, you know, how do you do that? You know, yes, yes, yes. You can say whatever you want.
um, mm, I frequently cry first.
Okay.
And then I usually do a schedule to organize my tasks. And and I guess that's
That's all.
Mhm.
I guess that's it. Okay. Okay, next. Describe a situation where you had to make a decision shortly after receiving new information.
Describe a situation when you receive what? Information shortly?
Yeah, a decision.
A
A
decision,
decision
sorry.
you took after you had to take no, after you received some information.
Mm, mm, I mm, I usually thought about what I have to say, and then I respond.
Interesting. Okay. Next, can you explain the benefits of setting short-term goals in your language learning journey? The benefits of setting short-term goals in your language learning journey. Do you understand the question or?
Yes, but I'm thinking maybe mm, I guess one of my setting on my short-term goals was the the meeting with the people of China. I was very nervous, so I tried to follow your advice and listen to myself when I speak. And I guess it turned well, I guess.
That sounds good. Okay, interesting. Very good. Let's pass to the next. Let's go with Jessie. Let's begin with you. We'll begin with you, girl. Tell me, have you ever had to adapt instantly to a new environment?
Mm, you, yeah, mm, I am thinking. I guess. I guess. I have. Yes, I have. I have adapt. Mm, the next teacher. How did you?
Tell me about the situation. Like you have adapted to what or what happened? Yeah, like elaborate your story.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a story.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can't
remember a specific situation now. I was thinking, for example, in my job, but for example, in my currently job, it's not. It wasn't uh, instantly. It
Okay.
wasn't instant. It wasn't. It wasn't need to adapt instantly.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm,
Why not?
because when I start to work in my current job, um, I they knew I didn't have experience. Okay, I didn't have a lot of experience, and and they helped me.
They what?
They helped me.
Ah, okay.
Help me. Yes, they helped me to tell yes told me the process yes the process the oh you don't know how to say it how to do the things.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a story. Indeed.
Okay.
Easy as that. Yes. Okay. Good. And next, okay, let's go with Carla. Carla, let's use the word simultaneously. How do you manage to study and work simultaneously without feeling overwhelmed?
Um, I try um to just to attend mainly the study when is the schedule of the class, for example. But if happens an incident on my work or like this, simultaneously change my my focus in the work, but I try to close a specific thing in order to avoid to confuse, no? Because it's important to have an attention in each thing.
Mm, that was a good example. Mhm. Interesting. I wanna have one sample more about
Mm-hmm.
uh,
For example, simultaneously, when I had meetings in my work, some of them are in Spanish and others in English. So in some moments, I need to change simultaneously the language for each one.
Okay. That's it. Good, Carlita. Very, very good. The last one. Elsie, is your connection better?
I think so.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So let's go with you. Elsie, tell me. Let's eliminate rather, because rather is an emphasis word. Let's go with recently. What's the most interesting book you've read recently?
Mm,
How did it affect your perspective?
how did it affect your perspective? Oh, mm, recently I've read um trilogy about the Mexico's history, and it was on the oh, main mainly mainly no on the important parts of the history like independence, revolution, and the I don't know how to say the war between religions and government, like government in Spanish is cristera, cristera war.
You need to call them Cristeras War. You know, if you don't have a word in English for something,
Mhm.
it will be reading about the Cristeras War, comma, which is the,
Okay.
you know, like describing using which.
Okay. It the last one was Cristera's war, which is the war between the religions, power, and a, and a government without religion. And it it affected my perspective on or my thoughts about mainly Benito Juarez and Santana,
Okay.
because the books uh, tell you that part of the heroes that are too too difficult to understand, because like any human, they did um, um, they did uh, um, bad things, bad acts, and the books show you that they are not only heroes, they are also bad people like us in some part of their lives, and that's it.
Fantastic. Very interesting. Okay. Are you ready for the feedback, girls?
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
So we have the first one over here. I frequently cry. The question here was, how do you manage your time when you have multiple tasks to complete shortly? The first answer was, I frequently cry. You know, first, and then Yes, I create first, comma. And then I usually make a schedule. Okay. Let's talk about these two. The word, this is very interesting because when we are talking about the word schedule, we usually pronounce the word schedule, Star Wars, you know. And another one that we usually say is school, you know. We add an additional in the start because in Spanish it's very strange to have words that start with S. So for this comfort, we say schedule. And for that reason, we say and. That's the main reason why we use an additional imaginary vowel when it's not supposed to be there. Because in Spanish, there are no words that start with S and continue with a consonant. You know, that never happens in Spanish. Think about it. You know, so for that reason, we cannot pronounce this word together. We cannot pronounce this word sometimes, and we end up using an because we are thinking about an imaginary vowel. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So the word here, shut up. The word here is pronunciation. A schedule, everybody. A schedule.
A schedule.
And schedule.
A
Schedule.
schedule.
And schedule.
You said an. A schedule.
A schedule.
A schedule.
Schedule.
Interesting. Okay, wait. Everybody has a different pronunciation with the schedule. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody pronounces the same word. Very different. Okay. Let's go through the sound word. Okay. Here, these two sound like this. Mhm. Where are we? Ready. Look at this.
J. J.
So the second syllable is you. Everybody, you.
You.
Correct.
You.
The word is you. Schedule.
Schedule.
Come on, girls. Schedule.
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 Exactly.
Schedule.
Schedule.
Now everybody sounds the same. Yes, it was different pronunciations. Schedule. Schedule.
Schedule.
So similar to one schedule, a schedule. A schedule. Come on, pronunciation.
A schedule.
Schedule. A schedule.
I hear you say ae. It's not ae. This is my point. A schedule.
A schedule.
A schedule.
Okay. Now it's not dul. A schedule.
A schedule.
Schedule.
Much better. Create a schedule.
Create a
Create
schedule.
a schedule.
It's not ash. It's a schedule. Create a schedule.
Create a
Create
schedule.
a schedule.
Ash, no. There is-
Schedule.
I have a question. Okay, who has British people in their office? Indian
No.
people?
I.
If you have Indian people, that's the reason you pronounce schedule.
Schedule. Okay.
If you have Indian people, the pronunciation that is normal in your office is schedule.
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 Okay.
Schedule.
That's probably the reason. So in that case, it's correct to say a schedule. A schedule. Everybody,
A
A
schedule.
schedule.
I
a
share
schedule.
you.
That's
schedule.
very British. Okay. American, a schedule.
A
schedule.
schedule.
Correct.
A schedule.
A ske.
A schedule. Schedule.
That's so
Schedule.
very different. And even though it's a different pronunciation, it's the same word. Hashtag English. This is one of the like 1 or 2 words that have very different pronunciations in British and American. It's like an exception, a special word. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the one. Never say an because there is no vowel at the beginning. Okay? That's the first part. I usually make a schedule to organize my task. Pronunciation. Tasks plural. Anybody? Task in plural.
Tasks.
Nice, Kalila. Very good. Tasks. Right? Any other pronunciation? Tasks.
Tax.
Tasks.
I hear you saying tax. That's different. Tasks.
Tasks.
One more time, Elsie.
Tasks.
Yes, that's much better. Pronunciation, Michelle.
Tasks.
Perfect. Pronunciation, Jesse.
Tasks.
Excellent. So no problem. Tasks. And I guess that's it. Okay. Next. Question number 2. I usually do. I have a question for you, Mitch. What did you try to say here?
I try to say that first I think about the information I got.
Yes.
So then,
Always use the verb in present,
oh, sorry.
especially when you say usually.
I usually, yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Usually
Usually.
plus a simple verb form. No, present. Because the word usually means routine.
Okay.
So I usually think, never use the preposition.
I usually think about, okay.
Correct. Now, just by curiosity, what is the past of think?
Thought.
This time you pronounce it correctly. Because when you spoke, you said though.
Ah,
And that's a
sorry.
different word. Yes.
Sorry. It's Monday.
Come on. Okay, perfect. Next, I guess one of my short-term goals was the meeting with the people of China. I was very nervous, so I tried to follow your advice and listen to myself while I speak. And I guess it turned well. Okay. I'm going to give you some modifications that you can use as B1 speaker. Okay. The word very is an adverb, but this is a pretty A2 adverb. I would say A1 probably. Okay. This is where you can use adverbs like the ones we have on screen. Somewhat, rather, sort of. You know, these are very helpful to use. Try to use them.
Okay.
Super useful. Pinky promise.
Okay, teacher.
Another one is here. I was somewhat nervous. I was
somewhat nervous.
somewhat nervous. I was sort of nervous.
Sort of.
Mhm.
Okay.
I was rather nervous, and the word rather sounds formal.
Okay. Okay.
I try to follow your advice and listen to myself. This part can include also an adverb. Probably this is new vocabulary for you. You can add an adverb in this case and say, to listen to myself carefully. Listen to myself swiftly. This is new vocabulary. Swiftly is similar to careful, carefully. Or listen to myself in detail, which is word in detail is another adverb, another way to say it. Expanding your expressions. Usually adverbs are these expansions, a way to speak in more detail about what you're trying to say.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
And I guess it turned well. That's it. The last observation is a tense word. I would say while I was speaking. While, because we're talking about that time in that specific occasion. Of course, you can do that as a routine, but in that specific location, you were listening to yourself while you were speaking. It was a simultaneous action in that moment. And that's pretty much it. Any question, Mitch?
No, teacher.
In the case of the rest, girls?
No, thank you.
No.
No,
Awesome. Let's go to the next. The next one was Jessie. Okay. Yes, I have adapted. So here we have, I was thinking in my job. Collocation. Do you have the collocations dictionary in your phone? Yes?
No, teacher.
Not yet.
No.
Just, I quit. I definitely quit. Jesus Christ. If you search the word thinking in the collocations dictionary,
Okay.
you will probably have the connector of,
The connector of?
not the connector in. Okay, that's a collocation. A collocation is a word
Yes.
that usually goes together. Let me check if it's correct. If I am not lying to you. If I search for think, have an opinion, have an idea, consider. Consider in this case. Preposition of. Jesus Christ. Let me send it to you. Guess with J, right? Yes. So this particular dictionary helps you know what words are correct and what words are not. If you see you will never have the connector in. You see? Definitely that's out of the territory. Okay? Now, the next one is pretty interesting. My currently job. If you consider the colors that we have been practicing on the in class, we have the two different types of descriptions, no?
Yes.
Description which is purple. This is not purple, this is red. Purple and orange,
Yes.
right?
Was only correct, right?
Ah,
This is
because
adjective.
job is blue. You know? My current job.
Michael.
Exactly. Right? If you're going to use a purple one, you can say, I've been working on this currently. For example, no? That's an option for the second one. So be careful with the word "li." The ending "li", you use it way too much. You need to use, in your case, identify the orange word in contrast to the purple word. So then later you can use purple words in a correct way. But first, dominate the orange ones. These include words that don't have "li", INGs, and passives. Okay, you need to dominate adjectives that don't have ly, passives, and INGs.
Okay.
It wasn't need to adapt instantly. I don't understand this section. What do you mean in this case? It wasn't need.
Mm, it's the correct is I maybe they didn't need or I didn't need.
Okay, that's important. Select the subject. Who needed to adapt? You or them?
Me. I
Then,
didn't.
then the person is not it.
Mhm.
Anyway, I don't think the subject is incorrect. You can say it,
Yes.
but you can use a passive way. It wasn't needed.
It wasn't.
Wasn't needed.
Okay.
Also, you can use a passive correction. I wasn't needed
Mhm.
to adapt. Or it was not a need when you are talking about need as a noun. In this case, needed is a verb, and in the last one, need is a noun. Because you have a need.
Okay.
You see? Those are the three options. Because when I start position starting past,
I started.
start be careful on that one. Use it start.
Yes.
Regular verbs. To work on my currently job again. Right? They knew I didn't have a lot of experience. They helped me to told me after connector 2, the golden rule. You need?
Mm,
Can anyone help? Yes, in this case? Come on, girls.
Sim.
Uh-huh. Yes. Sim? Come on, Elsie. You were correct.
Simple form.
Yes. I think good former. Uh-huh. What is the simple form of told?
tell.
Tell.
But
Exactly.
but I
For me,
was I was isn't I didn't I didn't want to say told. I want to say
One day past.
I wanted to say thought.
Similar problem. Thought
Yeah.
is past. What is the present?
Was teach.
Teach. Uh-huh.
Mhm,
So anyway, if this is thought, then
mhm.
you need to say teach.
Okay.
Mhm. So teach me the process how to do the things. And there we go. Okay, let's give a moment to Jessie because Jessie is in the chat. Hello, Jess.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, gifts. I will take attendance. Is here Jessie? Hi, Jessie. Okay. Thank you. Elsie?
hello.
Hello, Elsie. Thank you. Carla?
Hello, Jesse. Good night.
Hello, Carla. Good night. And Mish. Hi, Jessie. Good night. Hello, Mish. Good night. So, thank you, gifts, and have a good night. Okay.
You too, girl. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go.
Good.
Wow, the time flies when you have fun. Jesus, it's already time. So I'm still with Carlita and Elsie. I'm gonna send you your feedback on WhatsApp, right? Because I need to fly to the next lesson. But yes, I will send it to you. Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
you too.
Thank you,
No
teacher.
problem.
Yes.
Have a very good night. Happy Monday. Rest well. Tomorrow we start the action.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, teacher.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. See you later.
See you.